Sexton is, and how far out did you know from when you were picking a team that he would be available?
Um, yeah, the after the extra game, we had a bit of a break for a few days after that. We started our preparation for the new competition, Rainbow Cup, which is a little bit unusual. So, tough day out for a lot of our guys. Realistically, we had a few disruptions in the lead into the game. Obviously with Harry going off as well quite early in the game. But anyway, Munster were full value for their win, I thought, on the day. But it's a good lesson for us, particularly around the contact area of the game, so which is relevant, I think, for us going into this weekend. Anyway, the guys have come through. It's a long week this week, obviously with Sunday game. So it gives us decent lead in and prep. I saw La Rochelle's game was called off the weekend, their game against Brive. So I suppose it's when you get these breaks at this time of year, it's a chance to conserve some energy, really. So they'll have had pretty good prep time coming into this week as well. Two coaches, as we knows very, very well, Ronan and Jono. Both very, very different sides of the fence. I'm sure they would have watched the game and taken a few bits from our game last weekend. So this week it's just been about reviewing that game, trying to learn some of the lessons from the game itself, and prepare as well as we possibly can, because it's such a massive challenge for us. Obviously you've touched on Johnny in your question. So with Johnny, we were just keen for him to see some specialists and experts in the field, and ultimately we've a lot of faith in Ross as well, and we're on the conservative side of some of the decision making, so we didn't try to pressure or push Johnny. And Johnny, as many people will have seen, is training with the group, and we're just keeping him out of any of the contact piece at the moment. He's not a million miles away from being available. So, but that was the decision that we made, that everyone came to. So obviously we just crack on with the group that we have, and unbelievably exciting challenge. When you get to this stage of the competition, think of some of the semi-final games over the years. I know there's still no supporters in the stadiums, but they're magical occasions. I think you saw it. I think in all the knockout games so far, how keenly contested these games are, with teams and clubs going full at it. So I don't think it'll be any different this weekend. So we know it's a huge challenge for us. La Rochelle, as I said, they're a well coached team by two coaches that we have a lot of respect for and know very, very well. And you can see the progression their team is making over the last couple of seasons. So they've some good experience across the team, that good mix of big powerful forwards, powerful back row as well, dynamic back row. That combination of Victor Vito at 8, Carbarlo at 9, West at 10. So that Kiwi combination that they have there, with some dangerous runners out wide as well. Raymond Rule and obviously Doolan as well. So it's going to be a great challenge for our guys. But that's where we want to be. We want to be here in the semi-finals of the tournament. So we never thought it would be easy if we got here.
And you're up against a club who are relatively inexperienced in terms of Heineken Champions Cup competition, but as you say, they can certainly threaten you up front, indeed out wide as well. How do you prepare for something like that? You can't expect the unexpected, because they were massively impressive in their win over Sale last time up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, first of all, even the week before that, going away to Gloucester, a good win over there. And I think you see in the game, so how difficult they make it for the opposition. So they're very aggressive around the contact area, and if you look at our Munster game in particular, we weren't accurate enough in that area, and Munster came very aggressive at us in that area. So that's a clear point from that game that we can get better at. But you see some of the threat that they have as well. Good kicking game, as you'd expect with Ronan, leading the charge there in terms of the coaching ticket. So understands what it takes to win at this level, because he's so much experience himself. Jono the same, very much the same. So whether his time in Leinster or his time in Claremont as well. So he's a ton of experience in the competition. So with that experience comes lots of different learnings along the way, both positive and negative, and you learn quite often a lot more from some of the negative experiences. So But yeah, we're deep into the tournament. You're going to be coming up against top teams. We've talked all along about the quality of the French teams in particular. I think their season was probably a little bit cleaner. If you think back, obviously they didn't have to finish the last season. Obviously that got canned, so they had a slightly cleaner season this year. For the English teams, they had played a lot of games. They were even playing midweek games at the start of the season. So there was always going to be a little bit of fatigue, I think, for some of those teams in England in particular. We had a very truncated format, obviously, when we finished out our season. And, we looked at this part of the year, and if we're still going, and then obviously throw in the Rainbow Cup as well. So there's lots of moving parts to it. So it was always going to be challenging and going to test the group. And overall, I think there's a huge amount of work that has gone in to get our guys to be in good shape for this time of year. And for our backroom team, they've done an unbelievably good job to get the guys firing. So I think guys are fit and raring to go now at this point in time. So which is positive. A lot of guys didn't play last week. Some guys did get some game time. So it was always trying to get that bit of a balance, I guess.
On Matt, merci.
Sinead Kazan, please.
It's Leo. I assume Johnny Sexton will still travel with the Leinster squad.
No, he won't travel now.
Okay. Is this the defining game for Ross Byrne?
Ross has played a lot of big games for us already. I don't know when is their defining game. He's had some pretty important ones for us over the years. And yeah, like he's like we're obviously with the two of them, with Johnny and Ross. We're blessed to have the two of them really here. I think Harry was incredibly unlucky with even just the mechanism of his injury in the Munster game. Like he's scrambling back and his leg gets caught up in the air and he gets this overstretch. So we never really got to see Harry last week, bar for the first 5 minutes of the game. So, but anyway, it is what it is. Kieran comes back into the mix and he's back on the bench now for us as well. He's done a good job for the team over the last number of years. So, but yeah, in terms of Ross, like it's a massive step up. Yeah, you're starting in Europe in a semi-final, but he's played big games for us before. So, you think back to that quarter-final against Ulster in the Aviva, and he steers us around the field well, and some of the finals that we've had in more recent times in the Guinness Pro 14 as well. So he's led the group well this week, which is important. We know how important he is here.